So welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing how to negotiate with clients. So we're just going to give you a few tips that we've learned over this period and this month that we've been talking with clients, and things that have worked and things that haven't worked. So first of all, I want to talk about emails. Email so far hasn't worked the best for us. However, we still do send emails out because it does work with some clients, and we do still suggest it as an option. So what we do in our emails usually is make it personalized. Make it personalized towards the business that you're sending it out, because if it's a copy and paste email, they can kind of tell. So just make sure the first sentence or two is definitely personalized towards the client and what you like about them. Once you've discussed what you like about them, then talk about what you can achieve together and what value you can bring to the business. Maybe you've done your research and figured out, or maybe the Instagram's lacking a little bit of content and branding, so maybe discuss a little bit more on that. Just focus on something that they're lacking of, and maybe something that you can bring value to. And then at the end of the email, you always want to try arrange a call to action. So this could be a Zoom call, a phone call, just something that you can then negotiate with the client in a physical form or a verbal call. Our second option is phone calls, and this has worked the best for us this month. And we're starting to figure out that, phone calls might be the way forward. Just because personally, you can feel the energy straight off the back. And if you feel like you're not feeling it, you can kind of tell that they're not feeling it at the same time, so you kind of know where you're at. And just letting you all know that this is things that have worked for us. So the first thing we do is obviously research. Do your research on the company before you call. And then we always make sure that we understand the client first. Understand the problem that they're facing or issues that they're facing, and write these down as they're talking. Once you've understood the problems and you've got a few questions in mind, start asking these questions, but make sure it's relevant within the market. So you want to be asking questions like, who are your competitors? What are they doing great? What could they be doing better? What's the gap in the actual market? Is there something missing? And then you can kind of gauge on where to go next, which is obviously identifying the gap, which I touched on just a little bit. So once you've got all of these problems and you've got all these issues within the market and the competitors and themselves, you kind of figure out already what the gap is a little bit, which leads me on to the next bit, which is identifying the gap. I think I touched on it a little bit just then, but I think the gap is something that a lot of people and businesses don't tend to understand a lot of the time, because they're just sort of fixed into what they do. But us as a researcher and doing a little bit of digging into the market, we are kind of know what they could be doing differently to other businesses and the competitors. Make sure that we can cover the gap and obviously make them progress as a business. I think the next step, what we've got on here after you've figured all the issues out, is understand the business outcome. What do they desire? What do they want to achieve and overcome within these next few months or within a year? Once you've understood the issues and the problems that they're facing, and you've understood the business outcome and what they want to achieve, I think it's then best to talk about the figures. Reason being is because you have all the information you need to kind of price it now. And don't be afraid to price what you believe that you're worth, but it's key to understand the ROI. What are they investing in you, and what's their potential return? I think the next best thing after negotiating a price and going through the ROI system is to give them valuable information that you may already have during the call and that you've written down. Now, you don't want to give them all the information, you just want to give them some key knowledge that you think that stood out, and obviously provide them with value straight off the back. Because if you can give them value straight away on the first call, then you're doing something great for them before you've actually even been paid or got something back in return. I think it's always good to make the client feel secure with you, and you're also selling yourself a little bit. So making sure that you're selling yourself a little bit and just doing your job basically. And then before you end the call, make sure you make a final agreement. This could just be a verbal agreement, but just make sure everything's clear before you come off the call, because the next step after that will be the contract. And you want the contract to make sense. You want the contract to be very clear and understandable. And everything that you discussed previously is in the contract. And this is just our process of how we do things. This is what I've bullet pointed, and this is stuff that's worked for now. Like I said, phone calls have worked the best so far, and also social media like Instagram. Instagram DMs are a great way to get that mutual bond with the client, and also it lets you see if they've seen it and acknowledge the message or not. And that also allows you to then tweak the message, because if they haven't replied, or if numerous clients haven't replied, then maybe it's something on your behalf that you might have to tweak and do something different. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Also comment what you would like to see next, because I'm trying to give as much value as possible, and obviously give you tips and tricks that we're learning as we go along, and things that have worked and things that haven't worked. So yeah, make sure you comment and let us know what you'd like to see next. Thank you for watching and thank you for joining us. Remember, stay positive and be great. Peace.